Hello and welcome to the Tech Brain channel. My name is Joe Nurenda, and in today's video, we look at what's new in MongoDB version 8. So we'll be playing with a MongoDB release candidate that we've downloaded from the MongoDB website. So I'll be upgrading my single node replica set from version 7 to version 8. It's a fairly trivial upgrade. So what we'll be looking at as well are what are the key changes? What are some of the things that I need to be aware of if I decide to perform the upgrade? We've kept it fairly high level. If you'd like more details about some of the other changes, head over to the MongoDB website where you can find more information about that. So what I'll focus on in this little demo is just some of the changes around query behavior. So with query behavior, we'll be able to see what MongoDB 8 introduces and what some of the changes are. So let's dive right in. The compatibility changes that we'll be exploring, I think the important ones. There'll be others that we don't go into detail. We'll also look at the upgrade path from MongoDB 7 to MongoDB 8. So there is a release candidate that I downloaded from the MongoDB website. With a release candidate, I'm able to do some early testing. Release candidates are generally not suitable for production purposes, but we can get to play with it locally. So major changes. So we've got query behavior. So starting in MongoDB version 8, comparisons to null, inequality match, expressions don't match, undefined values. So we'll have a little demo of this change in the query behavior. So this query behavior, as it says in the slide, will also impact these operations, $EQ, $in, also $lookup. We'll be coming back to these points once I do the install. So this is the installation directory. So what I'll do is grab all the binaries. I don't need to grab the config file, but I'll just check out if there are any fundamental differences in terms of configuration. So I can see a few changes there in the way that the path is looking for that environment variable, which I haven't set. So I can ignore this config file. My config file has a slightly different format. So anyway, let me take that and copy everything but the config. So I'll take that and copy that. So what I need to do before I proceed is to make sure that I'm actually running MongoDB version 7. So there's a way I can determine whether that's the case. I can look at the feature compatibility version, FCV. So let me clear this up and let me go through my history. I can get to see the FCV. So yes, that just does confirm that I'm currently running on version 7. I should be able to follow the documentation that describes my upgrade from 7 to 8. I'll shut my database down. If I had a 3-node replica set, I'll do this in a rolling fashion. But since I'm just running a single node replica set, as we can see here, I can directly just shut down the server. I think I do have a command in my buffer, which will do that. And just to confirm that the shutdown will occur, observe what happens here when I do that. Okay, so shutdown. Yep, that's released my MongoDB. I can now copy the relevant binaries. So I'll copy all these bits and I'll go to server version 7 and it's the bin directory that I want. So I will paste that there. So replace the files in the destination, continue. Yeah, let's do that. Config file, Haven't touched that, so config file is still as is. Let's see if we can spin this up again. So get run it. If I've cooked my installation, that should really just bomb out. So from here, I can press enter, and you can see that I'm connected. And next thing is check the FCV, feature compatibility version. I will now set the FCV to version 8. So the command to do that is what we see here. So let me run that. So I've set the feature compatibility version to 8 after the upgrade. I will then proceed to run the queries that we saw in the slide. I can also check the status of the FCV to make sure that the upgrade's been done successfully. I'll run db-admin command get parameter FCV, and let's just confirm what version my database is now on. As you can see, it gives me version 8 for the FCV. When I exit from the Mongosh and log back in, what version do I see? That confirms that I'm now running MongoDB version 8. Starting in MongoDB version 8, comparisons to null inequality match expressions won't match undefined values. We can see that from the code that we've got here, but let me run an example. So let's imagine that we have 3 documents. Each of these documents has an ID and a name field. In the case of the first 2 documents, name is null, name is undefined for the second one, and the other one, logically, that's equivalent of not having the name field. So what happens if I query for name is equal to null? This behavior that we see here is at odds with what's described in documentation. If I look for name is equal to null, where I have a document that I saved with a field name is equal to undefined, it's actually going to save it with the value of null. Let me show you what I mean by that. So come back here and do an insert. Just say insert 1, and let's just say that the name is undefined. So if I do that, what do we notice? If I say db.people and find, notice that the value that I just inserted, it's gone from undefined to null. So now if I query for null, I will find these values here. All these documents will come back. So in fact, if I do count documents where name is equal to null, we should expect to see 5 documents. So the documented behavior is different from the actual behavior that we see. So perhaps this gets picked up in the next release candidate, but clearly there is a discrepancy between what should be happening according to documentation and what actually happens when you run the queries. So that brings us to the end of this little quick upgrade of my local MongoDB. So this brings us to the end of this little demo on MongoDB, which was an upgrade from version 7 to version 8. Until next time, remember to like and subscribe. Bye for now.